you by the goosebumps, goosebumps. Gotta get you by the goosebumps, gotcha. They're gonna get you by the goosebumps, goosebumps.
Hello and welcome back to Drunken Book Club, an official, unofficial Goosebumps podcast. I'm your host, Christopher, the too scared to enter this house, Rupal, joined with...
I don't need to enter this house. I'm a founding member, Sam.
Damn, they're cool. They know what they're doing. And this week we read The House of No Return. I don't get this one. Like...
Yeah.
Why is it called The House of No Return? Because, like, we watched the TV show episode, because we read this, like, a week ago, because we were supposed to record this with Max and Marilee, but we were kind of, like, I was kind of like, nah, one episode's good with them, didn't want to overdo it kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's been about a week since it's been well over a week since I read the short story, but I'm pretty sure they never refer to the house as The House of No Return. But the TV show episode does, and it's like, why? did the producers of the TV show go, these kids aren't going to get it unless we say this is the House of No Return?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, again, it's just one of those, we gotta make this make sense.
Yeah. Because, I mean, in all honesty, it's not a great story. This is, the worst thing is this is the first of all the tales to give you goosebumps. This is the very first one. This one even got printed in its own, like, little mini book to, like, as a promotional thing. And, like, it's not a great start, I feel.
Yeah, it's kind of a weak beginning.
Like, if I had a choice, I would put Strain Peace. That's the first one I'd put in here. No. I'll be honest, there's not a lot of great ones. Like, Broken Dolls is really good. Mr. Teddy's decent. How I Won My Bat's alright. Good Friends is just weird. And what's Strangers in the Woods? I don't even remember that one. I was about to say, this first Tales to Give You Goosebumps isn't the best. I'm just gonna say it up front. Like, I feel like they get better each, like I think it peaks with the second book, but I digress. So, Sam, before you even read House of No Return, what did you think this one was going to be about?
I thought it was going to actually have, like, a whoever enters this house never returns, like, beginning premise kind of thing.
Yeah? Well, guess what? Arlstein's laughing at you because he's like, what a moron. I'm more creative than that. See this? This is a dummy that talks on its own and moves on its own. That's scary. Boo. Boo. But no, I remember when, like, this is not the first time I've read it. I've read this one multiple times. But I want to say the first time I read it, I thought it was going to be about the kind of similar thing of, like, this is, like, a house that literally, like, it's the Monster House or something, you know? From the movie Monster House. Everyone's favorite.
Yeah, I get that. Like, that
Like, I was figuring that. It's not, no. This one definitely doesn't do that. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get into this story. I'll go ahead and read this one, because I took the description off the wiki. Oh, Sam, you didn't pregame on anything, but I did. I had a Pepsi, a rum and Pepsi, because I really wanted a Pepsi with our meal today, and I wanted to put a little rum in there, and I feel thoroughly buzzed because I have not had a drop of alcohol in a while, so I feel pretty good. I did have a drink planned for this one, but I was, like, looking at it and I'm like, this looks gross. This sounds disgusting. It's called the Danger Liaisons, which I was just going to nickname the Danger Club.
Mm-hmm.
And what's in it is 2 ounce coffee liqueur, 2 ounce orange liqueur, 1 ounce margarita mix, shake, strain into a chilled glass, and I'm like, I don't want to waste my coffee liqueur on this. Because, like, we have good coffee liqueur. Maybe if we had something crappy or something, I would maybe change it. But nah, I'm not wasting my good stuff. Alright, I'll go ahead and get into this story. Robbie, Lori, and Nathan are part of a club called the Danger Club, of which they are the only members, and pride themselves on being the boldest children they know, who will take any dare they are offered, even though they've never been inside the House of No Return.
Yeah.
Little shit stains.
We don't need to.
We already know we're brave. We need to prove you're brave. Fuck these kids.
Like, bitch. That's what a chicken says.
Uh-huh. That's what someone who isn't brave says.
Yeah.
You ain't Disney and Pixar's brave. Get out of here. You're not as good. Which is saying something. It's like one of the weaker ones right there.
Yeah.
They become interested in Chris Wakely, a new boy in town, and encourage him to join them. Also, first Chris. Woo! First Chris in a book, and I think it's like the only Chris in any Goosebumps, actually. That isn't K-R-I-S, Chris.
Also, what sucks is your Chris is a better Chris than my Sam.
Yeah, take that.
I hate the Council of Sams disowns Sam.
Nope, Sam Bird is a leading member.
No, she's not.
Yeah, she is.
She does not speak for the Council of Sams.
She speaks with them constantly.
No.
I'm a lead member. Shoves a ice cream cone in her head. Yeah, I was about to say, I was very happy. I was like, I'm pretty sure there's a Chris, but like not in any of the main books, and I was correct. It's one of the side stories. Which I think is funny that he's never done like a Chris anywhere else. Because, I mean, it's a very common name. This is a reason why I go by Rupel, because there's so many damn Chris's.
Yep.
Alright, continuing forward. They dare him to spend an hour in the house of no return. A boarded up old house, which none of the children will enter because it is rumored to be haunted. He is not very brave and declines. However, they are desperate for him to join. On Halloween night, they trick him and force him to inside the house. An hour later, Chris is still not returned. The house of no return has enveloped him. No. Eventually, the club reluctantly goes inside to look for him. The door is still shut behind them, so they cannot escape. Then the two ghosts come down the stairs. They explain that Chris came to the house some time ago, but they allowed him to leave because he made them a deal. Let's make a deal! They chose door number 3, 3 children.
See, I was about to do it, and then I was like, wait, no, I was thinking the Price is Right music.
I don't remember the music for Let's Make a Deal.
I just remember the weird costumes.
Yeah, and getting zonked. Where it's like...
I still remember the lemon car, where it was a literal car that looked like a lemon. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
That is a petty thing.
He promised that if the ghost let him go, 3 other children will take his place. They also say that now Robbie, Laurie, and Nathan will stay in the house forever. Woo. I doubt you have any notes because it's been a week.
Yeah, I don't really have...
I'll be open with you. I don't believe you have any notes.
I do not have any notes. You're correct.
I don't blame you because... Yeah,
it's kind of a weak story. It's not one that I'm like...
Right? But you know what? There are some things I do like about this one. I love the ending with the ghost. Like, I feel like that's a good twist.
Yeah.
Like, that was an Oliver twist of a twist. And, like, he made a good deal with them. And I also really like the description. Like, literally, the first page of the book, of the story itself, is just a description of the house. And it's some good prose. There's, like, if there's anything going for this story, it's the prose at these certain moments.
Do you want me to read the...
No, fuck no.
I just saw that in your notes of, like, if anyone wants to read.
Yeah, if anyone wants to read. Nah, we're not gonna fuck around with this. This isn't gonna be a nice short episode, honestly. It's honestly a really good description. Like, they say that the white paint is chipping, and it makes the red brick pop out like blood. Yeah. And stuff like that, and like, no plants will grow, not even weeds, and it's like, that's a dilapidated ass house. Like, I thought my mom's house looked like shit, but this house looks like shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like, oh, I know what it looks like. I'm like, oh no, that's worse.
Yeah.
How is that worse?
Right? Like, when there's no weeds in the front, that's scary.
Yeah, because usually, like, dilapidated, I think weeds, there's a tire to a car that is not in the yard.
Like, the shingles are falling off.
One of the windows is boarded up.
Uh-huh.
One of the, if it has the, I don't remember what the names of them, the shutters.
Shutters.
If one of the shutters is like askew.
Yeah, slightly skewed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the house of no return right there.
But in some ways it's worse because, again, no weeds, like.
Mm-hmm. So on Halloween, Sam, can you remember any of the costumes?
One was a vampire, right?
Yes, one was a vampire.
Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
And I don't remember the third one.
I don't remember the others either. I only remember the vampire and Freddy Krueger because I put the Freddy Krueger in my notes because I'm like, no, known child killer, Freddy Krueger.
Was it? I feel like that was a Frankenstein.
Was that or a zombie?
Yeah,
I think it was a zombie.
Like
Chris was a zombie, I think.
Yeah, something.
Because he was like, he came out and he was green, and they're like, "What are you, a vegetable or something?"
Yeah.
It's like, no, I'm like the undead, living dead or something.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, good on you, Chris. Doing a scary costume even though you're a chicken.
Mood.
Right?
I mean, so you at least watch horror movies. I don't even.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, these kids are lame. And also, they had trick-or-treat bags instead of a pillowcase. They're 12 years old. 12-year-olds use pillowcases.
That is, yeah, I was gonna say you do pillowcases by then.
I remember being like a little kid and having like a Halloween bag. Like my mom would be like, here's your Halloween bag or whatever. Never had the pail. We never used like the stupid, what's it called, jack-o'-lantern pail. I don't know about you.
We did at one point, but after a while, I'm going to say.
It's like that shit gets filled up too fast.
The other thing I think we might have used is grocery bags.
That's fair. I feel like Halloween bag works okay, though, in, like, certain situations. Like, if you're younger and you're with your parents, because, like, they can tell by, like, how full it is. It's like, okay, we can go now kind of thing. And it's like, it gets full a little bit quick. Like, it's almost the same size as a pillowcase, but a little smaller. But
it can also be helpful so that it's that way. It's like, see, you already got plenty of candy. Time to go.
Yep.
For, like, a 6-year-old versus, like, a 12-year-old that can...
Yeah, versus, like, if you have a pillowcase, it's, like, the same amount in a pillowcase looks a lot less than in, like, in a Halloween bag.
Yeah, or in one of those pails.
Yeah. Oh, man. Pails. So lame. I always feel bad whenever a kid has a pail.
Yeah. I got a pail from T-Mobile. During Pride.
Yeah. We still have it in the living room, I think.
Yeah, because I got it during Pride this year.
We should get rid of because we have no need for it.
I thought you'd like it because it kind of has a little... I don't know
why.
I don't know, okay?
If I needed a Halloween decoration, I would paint my belly like a jack-o'-lantern.
Like you're a pregnant mom?
I'm a pregnant mommy. Just not the greatest. But continuing forward, let's go ahead and get some questions in, Sam. Do you have any questions? Maybe based around the episode or anything?
Were you ever dared to do something stupid as a kid?
I think we were all dared to do something stupid.
Did you
as a
ever
kid.
do the dare?
I'm trying to think if I ever did any dare. Did I dare? I feel like I was always doing the dares myself, like saying, "Ooh, I double dog dare you."
That kind of, yeah.
Yeah, because like I feel like I was too much of a chicken to do it myself.
You're a Danger Club founding member?
Yeah, I was a Danger Kid founding member.
I don't think I ever did any dares.
Yeah, like I think...
It was less common with girls growing up.
Yeah. I think the grossest, like the one thing I can think of that I probably did, and thinking back, I'm like, this is so gross now, but I was like, you're a kid, whatever, was grab a gum from like under the table and chew on it.
Ugh.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I did that as a kid.
Ugh.
Yeah. It wasn't as bad as this one time that I remember one of us dared one of our other friends to, because at our middle school, they would like, if you had gum, they'd be like, here's the bucket, spit it out kind of thing. And I remember one of the guys was like, hey, we dare you, like not me, but one of the other guys, to grab a fistful of gum and just chew. And he was just like, fuck it, okay.
Ugh.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Speaking of dares, I feel like this really isn't related to dares, but I do remember this one time in middle school because I was part of a clique, and there was like, I think there's like 7 or 8 of us, kind of like some interchangeable people too. Like some of us weren't always around, kind of thing. But like I say, there was like 6 like main members, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And this one time, they called all of us except for our leader into the office, and it was like, we know you're planning something. And like we're all like, what are you talking about?
They're like, oh, we know.
Like yeah, they're like, we know. And like one of the guys, Adam, he was a little giggly shit. Like he
just giggle at everything.
He giggled at everything. Like he couldn't help himself. He was a little giggle guy.
It was like Scooby and Shaggy and Harvey Birdman.
Yeah, like they can't help them. He could not help himself but laugh and shit. And like he's just cracking up, and like his cousin Kevin was like, dude, you gotta calm down. You have to calm down. Like they're gonna think we're doing something when we're not. And he's like, I know, but I can't help it. And like none of us would say anything because we weren't planning anything.
You're like, I can't say what we're planning because we're not planning it.
Like we didn't plan shit. We would just do stupid things. I remember another dare I did, actually. One of them, because there was these 6th graders, and I was in 8th grade, they were playing Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And we were like, oh, what losers, you know? And I still think, you know what? Middle school, you gotta drop the Yu-Gi-Oh. Get out of there. Get out of here with your
do not play Yu-Gi-Oh in public. You do not play... I remember somebody pointing out, like, it was the same thing with Pokemon. Elementary school, Pokemon, yes. Middle school, no, we don't do that. What are you talking about?
Exactly, yeah.
And then high school, oh, fuck, yeah, you play Pokemon?
Exactly. Because, like, it's smaller groups there, and, like, I feel you get way more tormented in middle school. But they dared me to, like, fake a seizure on the table they're playing on. And I was like, okay. And, like, I walked up and it just, like, fell over. I was like, ooh! And, like, I interrupted the game. And, like, the monitor came up and was like, that's not cool, Chris. And I was like, it was funny. It's like, she just walked away. I didn't even get in trouble. Like, that's the thing.
You were just like,
monitor saw everything, and I didn't even get in trouble. And, like, I just like, okay, whatever. Because she was just like, fuck these nerds too.
She's probably... Well, I remember, like, back in the Pokemon day, like, in elementary school,
Yeah.
they banned Pokemon cards because people were, like, stealing shit, and it became, like,
Pokemon
so much...
and Yu-Gi-Oh cards, like, any kind of, like, card thing was, like, banned in elementary school. I remember.
So I wonder if it was kind of a similar thing of, like...
Like, we
there's
don't
too
care.
much... Like, there's too much shit going around, like, I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah. Like... And there was, like, I think in 6th grade, someone dared me to slip on a banana peel to see if it would work. It does.
Okay.
On tile, it does, as a matter of fact, work.
Good to know.
I did not fall over, but I did, like, slid on it. Which, it was kind of fun, but it was kind of scary at the same time. Yep.
All I can think of also when you said, like, we don't plan anything, we just do it.
Yeah.
It's the Malcolm in the Middle thing that the mom points out of, like, they don't have any impulse control and 10-second memory.
Yeah.
Like, that's
teenage boys.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's boys from, like, 12 to...
12 to 15? Maybe even...
I'd say 20-something.
Yeah, fair enough. Sometimes they grow out of it, sometimes.
Yes, and sometimes they're
rarely.
still, like, even...
Yeah.
Yeah, say you grew out of it, but
No, I didn't. I'm still faking seizures at Digimon tables or whatever. Yu-Gi-Oh tables.
Pokemon...
It's
Going to a
Yu-Gi-Oh.
professional Pokemon tournament.
Yeah.
Magic the Gathering.
Yeah. Take that, Max. You guys are wasting your money and your life.
All I can think of is the guy that does, like, the prayer thing next to the ass cracks at Magic the Gathering.
Oh, yeah.
At all the ass cracks.
That is always hilarious. Alright, I got a couple questions. As a kid, did you ever make your own secret club or know anyone with a secret club?
I don't remember. I feel like my friends tried to do it, but it was right before the big breakup of the friend group. Because basically, like, what happened was there was me, Madeline, Lorraine, and Christina.
Mm-hmm.
And Lorraine's mom did not like Christina, because Christina was, like, the boss of the group, and she was bossy.
Yeah.
And kind of bitchy.
Yeah.
Like,
boss bitch.
Yeah. And Madeline sided with... I can't remember.
Yeah.
And then Cheyenne was also there, but she got, like, divorced child. Like, me and her got kind of stuck in, like, the shifting back and forth. I kind of had to take Christina's side partially because we were neighbors.
Yeah.
So, and it was also the anxious attachment style of someone bullying me is still giving me attention.
Yeah.
And shows they care about me.
I remember in, like, 1st or 2nd grade, there's these guys named Chad and Austin, and I think Keith as well. They were like, we're going to be in a club. You want to be part of it? I was like, yeah. And I was like, can Joe be part of it? Because Joe's my best friend, and he's been my best friend since 1st grade. And they're like, no. And I'm like, then I don't want to join.
Aw.
Yeah. I was just like, nah.
Like, I'm not leaving Joe out. Fuck that.
I think I did at first, but then I was like, but Joe's not here. Why can't Joe join? You know, I think it was like at first I didn't ask if Joe could, but like it was like eventually kind of thing. I was like, he can't, you know? I was like, this isn't fun anymore.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I think I remember one time. I can't remember if his name was Dustin or if it was something else.
Yeah.
It was like one of those names that you're like, oh, it is that kid.
Mm-hmm.
I think he got held back in 1st grade, but don't quote me on that. Because I didn't, like, we didn't get the same classes after a bit.
Yeah.
But I was, like, friends with him, and then he was like, do you want to play game? Like, kind of have, like, our own club thing? And then I didn't realize that when he said, like, play wolves, it meant just chasing after people and being a dick.
Oh, no.
And I was like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, no.
Like, I didn't do that. I was like, no. I thought it was, like,
yeah.
pretending to be dogs.
Yeah, no.
Which, you know, my little...
Yeah, you're a little dog girl.
Yeah.
It's like, no. Alright, would you have attempted the Danger Club challenge, Sam?
I feel like it's one of those, like...
Like, we're saying, little 12-year-old Sam, these kids are like, hey, you're cool. If you do this, you'll be part of the club.
I'd probably try. At 12 years old, yes. As a 31-year-old,
yeah,
I'm like, no.
Yeah. No,
That's dumb.
We're talking about little Sam here.
Or I would do it and just basically, like, do what Chris did.
Yeah.
Of, fuck this shit, I'm out. Just walk out the back.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't even wait the 15 minute. I wouldn't even, like, try to argue. I'd just be like, okay, there's gotta be another way out of here.
I think at 12, I probably would have attempted it, in all honesty. Like, I probably would have chickened out. Like, I probably would have been, like, the first kid who just, like, ran out the door.
Oh, yeah. Like, I don't think I'd pass 10 minutes.
Like, no. Hour.
No, I'm saying I wouldn't even make it to the 10-minute mark.
Gotcha.
Like,
yeah, no. I probably would be too scared shitless, because, like, I don't know. I mean, that shit's scary.
yeah, no.
I was about to say, when I was 12... I couldn't even sleep over at other people's houses and sleep, you know? I was, like, too scared to sleep.
I was fine with that, but that was...
Yeah, I don't know why. I just couldn't do that. Then again, when I did sleep over at my oldest brother's place that one time, we did watch, like, the scariest movie I'd ever seen at that point, The Audition, and that kind of was fucking terrifying, and I couldn't sleep because of that.
That's fair. I remember I tried to stay up all night one time during a sleepover, and it was at Madeline's house. I was going to say, speaking of which, this was before the friend breakup, and they had a huge-ass house. Like, it was one of those, like, damn, they got money. So the parents didn't care that we were, like, giggling and shrieking at, like, 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And the only girl that made it out through the whole night was the one that wasn't running around and, like, playing. And she was, like, smug about it. And I'm like, but we had fun.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
we
crashed at, like, 3 a.m., but...
The one time I had a sleepover was at Joe's for his birthday one year. And Chad and Austin were actually there as well. And we stayed up pretty much the whole night. And, like, I did remember passing out for, like, an hour, I think. Because I had a hard time, like, staying awake. But, I mean, I remember us having a pretty good time. But, like, I remember his dad, like, coming in, like, fucking zombie, like, you guys need to go to sleep now. I was just like, alright, I'm down with sleeping.
I remember I stayed up the whole night one time at Ed's. Only because I was like, maybe we should go to sleep. And then we looked when the sun was rising and we're like, oh shit. And then we did sleep for like 3 hours.
For a danger club, these kids are lame. Why not have another test? What test would you come up with? I'll go ahead and say what mine is. Back in my old neighborhood, there was a yard with a tall-ass fence. Like, I'm saying 6 or 7 feet tall. Like, this is a tall-ass fence. And 4 mean-ass dogs. I challenged someone to touch the fence for 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yep.
Because,
like, if you knew where to stand just right, like, they were not the biggest dogs, but they weren't, like, super jumper ones either. Like, it was, like, a chow chow and, like, 2 mutts and, like, I can't remember what the other one was.
It's one of those, I wouldn't stick my hand through the fence, but they're not going to jump over and get you.
Yeah. But they might try to nibble at your fingers. I remember this one time, the chow chow got out, and that one was the meanest one. I mean, obviously, it's a chow chow. And, like, I was like, I'm not leaving, because that dog is so mean and scary. And I remember when my dad was like, I'll wrangle him real quick, like, he was outside in the yard. And he just did the ooh, boo, boo thing, and, like, dog just comes up all happy on him. And just, like, because, like, my dad did go over there every now and then, so I think the dog liked him.
Dog was like, oh, hey, you're cool.
Yeah. And he brought him back. Yeah, that was, like, mean-looking chow chow. Like, it was big and fluffy and just, like...
I remember Christina had a dog named Athena.
Yeah?
And she was a mean chow chow.
Yeah.
I remember because I was like, why are you a bitch? Because they also had a German Shepherd that I think was, like, Rex or something. Like, it was a very generic German Shepherd name.
Yeah.
But he was chill. Like, he was just vibes. Like, he was just hanging, you know.
Yeah, just doing his thing.
I'm gonna say, he might bark at you if you're walking by, but if
like
you were...
most dogs would.
Yeah, but he wasn't, like... an asshole.
Alright. Do you have a Danger Club challenge?
Part of me goes, like, I remember one time I was hanging out with, I want to say it was Lexi.
Mm-hmm.
And she lived, like, kind of over in that area on the east side where there's, like, a bunch of washes not too far from the airplane graveyard.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like there's certain places where you could do more of, like, a physical challenge of, like, jumping or trying to clear something.
Mm-hmm.
Or going into, like...
I feel like the most dangerous thing you would have to do is get out of a wash. Yeah. That would be scary danger. Because, like, I've been stuck in a wash before, and I'm like my brother would be like, come on, just jump, and I'll grab your hand. And I'm like, no, you're going to fall in too. And, like, yeah, we did end up falling in, and we did end up finding a place where we could climb out, but, like, it's scary getting stuck in a wash.
Yeah, like, that's what I mean of, like, yeah.
Just push someone into a wash. Ah!
I mean, and sometimes sometimes the scariest stuff is not what's dead, but what's alive.
Yeah. Speaking of dead, so, like, I took a lift yesterday, and, like, you kind of choose a space for where they can pick you up. And I, like, walked over that spot, and I'm just like, oh, what stinks? And I'm like, oh, there's a dead bird right there. I'm just gonna move 5 feet over this way.
Fair.
Just a random-ass dead bird.
But yeah, that would be my thought is, like...
All right, and here's my final question. I believe they said they were 6th graders or 7th graders.
Mm-hmm.
Did you still go trick-or-treating in 6th or 7th grade?
I think maybe 6th grade, but I think that was, like, my last year.
I think that was my final year as well. And
maybe...
I actually have a story with mine.
Was it 7th grade? Either way, I remember, I think I went with Nicolette.
Yeah.
And I was gonna go with her other friends, but her friends called me a crybaby, and they, like, talked shit behind my back.
Fuck them.
And that's why I don't like the song Give Me Novocaine on American Idiot, because it reminds me of that bitch.
Yeah.
Fuck you, that one girl. I don't remember your name. Yeah. And I don't want to. Sorry, go ahead with you.
But Sam, you are a crybaby.
Yeah, but at least you will say it to my face.
Fair enough.
And you won't, like, not hang out with me.
Are you sure? I'm kidding. I'm forcing you to hang out with me. But in my final year of trick-or-treating, I can't remember, I'm pretty sure it was my 6th grade year. I went as like a soldier, so I just like face painted and put on like a fucking fatigues and shit. And I went trick-or-treating around where you live, because I went to my my grandpa's house, who lives around there. I went trick-or-treating around there, because like, they have decent candy around that area. I just remember hanging out inside my grandpa's house, just waiting for my, I think my dad was just like conversing with his dad, and like, Tracy, my step-grandma, answers the door, and like, I see this big group, and they're like, trick or treat, and like, they see me, and I see them, and they're like, they give me this oh shit look, and I do too, because they're all my classmates, and like, I feel like we're all like, oh no, we're not, there's like the silent deal of, we don't say we trick or treated as long as we don't say
I won't tell if you will.
Exactly. And it's like, I just like, oh dang, like it was like a group of 5 or 6 of them, you know, it was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny. It had to be 6th grade though. I'm pretty sure it was 6th grade.
I'm like, I don't remember. Maybe I went in 7th grade, but it's one of those, like, it was near the end of my career.
The last time I went trick-or-treating was my junior year of high school.
To be fair, I did go trick-or-treating as an adult.
Yeah.
I did a half.
But you went with a kid though.
Yeah.
I didn't go with a kid. I was with Jeff because we both were dressed up. And what's it called? Like, because that was the year I dressed up as Father Guido Sarducci from SNL.
Yeah.
And Jeff was like, you want to go trick-or-treating? I'm like, sure, but do you have a costume? He's like, yeah, I'll just put on like fake blood. I'm like, alright, works for me. And yeah, we just took, he let me borrow a pillowcase, because it was just on a whim, we just went trick-or-treating. And we just went trick-or-treating in his neighborhood, and hey, we got a decent amount of candy.
Yeah.
So.
It's one of those, like, if you actually put an effort to a costume, I will still give you candy even if you're an adult.
Exactly. Yeah. I feel like I will never bash someone as long as they're dressed. Like, if you're a teenager with like the half-ass costume, it's a costume still. But if you're just dressed up in your street clothes, come on, kid. You're getting the single candy.
You get the dum-dum. The mystery flavored dum-dum.
Yeah, like, I will not bash an adult for trick-or-treating. It's like, good on you.
It's a little weird if they're by themselves. Like, if they're part of a group or with a kid, obviously, that's fine.
Yeah.
But a lone adult is weird.
I don't think I've ever seen a lone adult, though.
I haven't, but the thought of it is creepy. Like,
alrighty.
You should not be wandering the streets alone with children around you.
Yeah.
But not responsible for.
Alright, Sam, what's your book report on this one?
It's a pretty weak story. Like, I like the ending of Chris just making a deal and being like, I'm out, bye. But overall, it's pretty weak. I'm gonna give it a 2.5 out of 5.
Alright, straight down the middle. You know what? It's kind of hilarious how much I was insulting it, because it's been a while since I've read it. But here's my review that I wrote a week or two ago. This is a strong one from the first volume of Tales That Give You Goosebumps. It has some decent scares with a description of the house, the club forcing Chris to his doom, and the ghostly pair at the end. I do think there were some good scary moments.
Yeah.
Like, those are 3 really good scary moments.
Again, it's not all bad, but it's not great.
Yeah. I just wish there was a bit more time inside the house with the Danger Club, instead of them just waiting outside doing nothing. Like, literally, it's just being like, what are we supposed to be doing right now? Is he done yet? Like, it's a lot of bitching and moaning.
Well, they're like bitching on how long it's taking. It's like, you made the rule.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, make it a half hour if you're gonna fucking complain.
Like, shut the fuck up.
I think it's a decent short story. I do think it has some issues. I'm definitely not giving it the 4 out of 5 that I originally put, but I'm definitely going to raise it up to at least a 3 out of 5. I think.
Fair enough.
Because I think there are some good scary moments. Like, I think the part where they literally shove him in the house and like drag him in there is legit scary.
Yeah, I'm like, holy shit, they kidnap a child.
Yeah! Like, I could see like my brother and his friends doing that to me as a kid. Like, legitimately.
Yeah.
And like, it's scary. But yeah, I think there's just a little bit of there's just a few moments in here that are just like, this sucks. I think the TV show episode didn't help me feel good about it, because the TV show episode's not that great.
But yeah, the TV episode just kind of highlights some of the issues.
It just has some really funny moments, like the fake bat, the bird that talks to him, and the girl screaming for no fucking reason.
Yeah, like literally she screams and they're like, what? And she's like, and she's just like, oh, I just wanted to scream. Yeah,
I want to make sure you're awake.
It's literally the meme of, I'm a scream real quick.
All right, that's it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoy what you heard. Next week, we are doing Escape from Horrorland. Ooh.
That's supposed to be a good one, right? Like
Sorry, One Day at Horrorland. I don't know why I said Escape. That's the video game. One Day at Horrorland is a fantastic book. It is a top tier. It is... I think it's in my top 5s. Like, I think it's legit. It might even be my top 3, in all honesty, of Goosebumps books. I'm looking forward to One Day at Horrorland. It is one of my favorites, and I really want to share that one with you. And yeah, so if you enjoy what you heard, make sure to join us on patreon.com/Drunken Book Club. Join our patrons, Trey and Weiss, for $1 a month. Woo. You get a bonus episode every week. You get these episodes up early, our show notes when we have show notes, and whatever else I may put up on there. I was about to say, like, even with a full-time job, I try my best to put at least 1 or 2 things up a week. So, besides the episode up early, I like to try to at least put 1 or 2 things up. You know,
so you get presents for you.
Yeah, I was about to say there's moments from episodes called Cut for Time, and you'll definitely be seeing some of those every now and then.
Trying to remember one of the more recent ones that was actually.
What's up? More recent ones?
Yeah.
It's usually Disney movie muses. I cut a lot of stuff or Cut for Time. Like, for what it's worth, I didn't put any of the Cut for Time for the last one we did, because I was just like, this is just going on too long.
It was just kind of argumentative overall. Yeah. It wasn't really fun.
It wasn't. But there are fun ones. They tend to be fun things that just don't fit into the narrative of the podcast. It
just kind of makes it lag and
adds nothing to it, really.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, we'll see you guys next time, and keep on bumping in the night. Stay out of my house, so no return.
Moving was hard, but I got squared away. Bells started ringing and chains rattled out. I knew I'd moved in a haunted house. Still I made up in my mind to stay. Nothing was gonna drive me away. When I seen something that give me the creep. Had one big eye and 2 big feet. I stood right still and I did the freeze. He did the stroll right up to me. Made a noise with his feet that sound like a drum. Say you'll be here when the morning comes.